All right. Hello, everybody. We just wanted to hop on here and we hope everybody is staying safe and staying healthy. But we wanted to kind of do a little bit of a live video to try to talk a little bit about some unemployment benefit information because of all of the businesses that have been shut down due to the coronavirus. So we wanted to try to let people know what they needed to do, what their options were as far as getting unemployment compensation benefits, and try to answer some questions if anybody has them. As we all know, that the governor of Ohio has shut down the restaurants and bars. And so there are going to be a lot of people that are unfortunately temporary unemployed or underemployed. And so we wanted to take an opportunity to try to help provide some information that might help those people pay their bills and take care of some things. Um, so the first question that generally we're trying to talk about right now is whether these bar restaurants or um, spas or hair care places, cosmetologists, if they're unemployed because of the coronavirus, um, can they apply for unemployment compensation? And so, kind of the short answer is yes. That if your employer closes down because of the quarantine, then you may be eligible to file immediately for unemployment compensation benefits. And so we want to try to walk you through that process to try to show you what you can do and tell you some information about that. So, um, if you're in a situation where your employer was shut down, or even if you are the employer, you also may be eligible for some unemployment benefits. And so, what kind of the test for this would be is if your company is shut down because of the coronavirus, that you would go on to the unemployment website, which is running at the bottom. It's at the bottom of our feed here, unemployment.ohio.gov. And so you would be able to apply online, or there's a phone number 1-877-644-8408 that you can do on by phone as well. And so if your employer shuts down because of the COVID-19, then you can apply for unemployment compensation. But if your employer also orders you to be quarantined, or that you are unable to come to work because you have a temperature or something along those lines, then you may be able to apply as well. Now, this does not apply if you are getting paid currently. So if you are receiving sick pay, so if you're getting paid by your employer, then you would not qualify until those benefits run out, most likely. But it also applies if you have a medical note. So your employer is still open, but you are dealing with the public, and your doctor, because you have a heart condition or something along those lines, if your doctor is willing to write you a medical note that says you are unable to work, then you would potentially be eligible to draw unemployment compensation benefits. Now, again, if you are receiving pay, so if your employer is still paying you through sick time or vacation pay or paid time off, then you would most likely not qualify for unemployment at this point. But when that runs out, if you're still um, unable to work, then you might be able to apply for unemployment compensation. So, one question we've been asked a number of times lately is, well, I'm a small business owner, and if my business gets closed, gets quarantined, I'm a bar owner or I own a restaurant, and can I, as the owner, apply for unemployment compensation? And the answer is it kind of depends. And so, in that situation, a lot depends on how you pay yourself. If you pay yourself as a W-2 employee, but also do some member draws as a business. So if you do pay withholding to unemployment on yourself, so if you pay yourself as a W-2 employee, at least in part of your salary, and your business is closed due to COVID-19 coronavirus, then you may be eligible to apply for unemployment compensation. Now there is a income offset, so that if you are still receiving some draws or some income, then you may have that number reduced. And so that's kind of how it works. one question that people have asked is, well, what if I self quarantine myself? So my employer's still open, but I don't feel comfortable being out in the public. And so I'm self quarantining myself. Can I apply for unemployment compensation? And the short answer of that is no, unless you meet some of those other exceptions, such as you have a medical note as well. And so if you are self quarantining yourself, but you could go to work, um, then you would not be eligible to receive unemployment compensation unless you could get that medical documentation or unless your employer shuts down, because you would be considered you'd be considered intentionally unemployed or by your own doing, and so you would not qualify for that. Um, you may also qualify is if you are quarantined by your employer, so you go to work and the employer says no, you're not allowed to work because we believe you may have contracted coronavirus, then you would potentially be able to apply again, as so long as you're not receiving any um, paid time off or you're still not getting paid by your employer. What the governor's office did do, because they've declared a state of emergency, is there used to be a 1 week waiting period before you could apply for unemployment compensation. And they have done away with that for purposes of this pandemic. And so you do not have to wait that 1 week. You can immediately go forward and apply for a job. They've also greatly relaxed the requirements for you to seek work. And so, whether you qualify for unemployment is generally based on whether you have enough weeks of work history. And so, we encourage anybody that has any questions to give us a call, 937 or shoot us an email. Our website scrolling at the bottom of this feed. And so we also wanted to let people know some information as far as what you would need to have on you to be able to apply for unemployment compensation benefits. You're going to need your social security number. You're going to need a driver's license or state ID number. And you will need your name, address, and telephone number, and an email address so that you can get correspondence with unemployment. You also need the name, address, and telephone number of your employer that you were most recently employed, as well as for the past 6 weeks of employment. It'd be nice if you had your pay stubs and even W 2s. You'll need to list the reason you became unemployed. There's a checkbox that you would put into that website, to the unemployment.ohio.gov website, that would be that your employer was shut down, that you are quarantined because of a medical note, and so forth. They also want to know the if you have any dependents. So if you have children, or you are in charge, you claim your spouse as a dependent for some reason, then you would need their information as well, as far as their date of birth and social security numbers. If you are not a U.S. citizen, then you would need your alien registration number and its expiration date. You would also need to list your regular job skills and occupation that you are currently unemployed from. And so they will also want to know if you were military in the past 18 months. They will need a copy of your DD 214, or if you were a federal government employee, which is your SF8 or SF50 documents as well. It's not a hard process to apply for unemployment compensation. The governor has worked very hard with Job and Family Services and unemployment to try to streamline this process and to try to uh, save our employees. And so we encourage you, if you are unfortunately out of work or because of the coronavirus, then certainly go to the unemployment.ohio.gov website, or during their normal hours that they have on their website as well. You can call the number and do all of this by phone. And so that'll help. We would give you a little bit of a look at the website. So I'm going to switch over here to the website there. So this is the unemployment.ohio.gov website. So what you would do is you will go down here to this green box, and it says apply for unemployment. Um, and so file or appeal benefits. And so that's something to know as well, that if you would happen to be denied, then you can try to appeal that decision as well. And so you click on that, and you will go to this next page, and you click I agree, and it'll run you through some additional information. You'll get your login. If you're not currently registered, you'll have to register. So, um, again, we hope everybody is staying safe, staying healthy. Um, and if there's anything that we can do to help you over here at Beck Law Office, certainly give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to try to help you out because we want to make sure everybody is trying to do the best they can in this situation because I think we're all in this together. Again, we hope everybody stays safe. We hope hopefully we can get through this fairly quickly. Thank you.